What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to Johnny K Picks. And in this video, I'll be going over my full card picks and predictions, along with the bets that I'm looking at so far for UFC Vegas 83 Song versus Gutierrez. Now, first things first, as always, please hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're new, or if you just haven't yet. Click those notifications so you know when I upload my breakdowns, when we have our live streams, all that stuff. Leave some comments below. I'll say it right now. Tomorrow is my birthday. So if you want to leave me a birthday comment, that'd be fantastic. Leave it below. I will always respond to everyone's comments. Also, check out my Patreon as always. Like I said in the previous ones, I just started up about a couple months ago. It's $5.99 a month. You get access to all my early UFC bets, all my NFL bets, NBA, baseball, soccer, all that good stuff. Also, you get my UFC cheat sheet for all my parlay pieces I look at, single bets, long shots, sprinkle bets, all that good stuff. Check it out. I also post free bets too. So if you don't want to join and become a core member, you can also become a free member. And I will post my other bets from time to time for free. So check that out too. So last night's card was pretty good for UFC Austin. A lot of finishes. You have to know for UFC Austin cards, go to those cards live. I went to the first one and they had like 10 finishes and like 13, 14 fights. This one had like 8 finishes and 12 fights. So Austin cards are amazing. Definitely go if you have the opportunity to, because I'm going to go the next time Austin comes around again. But for my picks, I ended up going 6-6. Not the greatest of picking predictions, if you want to say. Also for my bets, I had 7 and I won 3, and I lost minus 1.16 units. So I started out well. I think I won my first 3 bets, and then I lost my last 4 bets. So kind of a tale of two cards, if you want to say, for that. But let's go through this real quick. I always put these out on Twitter and Instagram right after the fights, my initial reactions. The first fight for Hardley, I thought it was a clear 29-28, but the Texas judges saw it differently. And we know Texas judges are a little bit crazy. I thought Hardy clearly won rounds 1 and 2, but good win from her. She was just a quicker striker on the feet early on, but Horth did start coming around as the fight went on. Holy Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon got it done. Comeback win in the second round. A good submission there. Turman was looking good early with the striking. Kind of looked like Alex Pereira out there. I'm not gonna lie. I liked his takedown in the first round, but then after that, he got caught. And so that's why I didn't bet that fight, because I swear anything could have happened in that one. Bellato dug deep and got that one done. He looked like he was out of it. He looked like he was going to get finished early on too, but he survived, and somehow he. This is what happens with Pateria. He gasses out after the first round, but he's very dangerous. So good win from Bellato, but I'll tell you what, I won't be picking him depending on who he fights, obviously, but he's got some holes. Close, best quote of the night, easiest 200K right there, baby. That was hilarious when he said that after that slam KO. Good win from him. He did get taken down early, but he reversed it and got the slam KO. We don't see too many slam KOs in UFC. And then guess what? Right after that, Brundage just did exactly what Close did. He's such a copier, he had to do it. But no, good win from Brundage. He did what he needed to do. I know I poo-pooed on him in my breakdowns and stuff, but hey, got it done. Good win from him. Domination by Tate. Tate dominated. That's like the old Tate. Go in there, wrestle, wrestle, wrestle. That's how she's going to win a lot of fights still. And she's got the cardio. She's durable. Just go in there and wrestle Tate. You're going to win a lot of fights actually still. Puna isn't UFC caliber. That was an awful performance from Puna. Awful. All he could do was throw his left hand, and that's all he did the whole fight. He did crack Dustin a couple times, but not UFC caliber, man. Never again. Guida is a boss. I know Guida lost, but man, at 41, 42 years old now, he still has the cardio. He's durable, and love the guy. Love the guy. I know he lost. Like I said, Silva won a clear 29-28, but Guida has it. Brady made me look foolish. I was all over Gastelum, and Brady just made me look like a fool. So good for him. Gastelum just looks like welterweight's very talented, and maybe he was shocked a little bit because welterweight is a different breed than middleweight talent. Let's put it that way. Welterweight, I think, has way more talent than middleweight, but maybe he just got, I don't know, maybe just didn't think highly of Brady. I mean, I don't want to say I didn't. I just didn't think he would win this matchup, but good win from Brady. Think he can hang with the top bantamweights? Yes, he can. And Font looked awful, and Figgy looked great. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That was another bad read for me. That ref wanted Bobby dead. That ref should have stopped that fight 5 or 6 punches ago before he actually did, because Bobby Green was still kind of, like, putting his hands up, and then finally, when his hands went limp and he's dead on there on the ground, ref's like, "Alright, he's dead. Let's call it now." That was awful, dude, but, good win from Turner. Shoulda kept my initial read on that one. Sarukian's coming. Yeah, he's gonna be he's a problem. He caught Benny in the early in that with that right hand. I thought it was that knee, but the right hand actually clipped him and got him. So good win from him. And yeah, we'll go ahead and jump right into UFC Vegas 83. All the fights. I think there's going to be 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 12 fights. I thought there was only going to be 10, but they made up for a couple of them. They added a couple late. So let's go right into it. This is the one that was supposed to happen last week. And I'm just going to give you the same exact breakdown of this one. Garcia versus Costa. I'm gonna go with Costa here. I went with him last week. I think the reason why Garcia this fight was canceled because Garcia had some illness. Don't know exactly what it is. They just moved it to this week, so it wasn't anything crazy. Maybe he had the poops. Who knows? We've seen that happen before, but I just think Costa's the better fighter everywhere. Garcia has that dog in him, but I think Costa's just better everywhere. I think he's a more technical striker. I think he's the better grappler. He's more dangerous. I think, and those leg kicks, I think he's gonna be able to mix it up. He's the more dynamic striker. So give me Costa again. I think he's gonna get the finish. I don't know if it's gonna be a KO or a sub, like a club and sub or something like that. But yeah, give me Costa to win this one again. So we'll see what happens here. Next one is gonna be Marcos versus Vera. And in this one, I think this was a early or a late add-on fight. Both guys are taking this fight on short notice, I believe. But Marcos is a good striker. He's got solid power in his hands, good boxing. He's durable. His volume can slow down as the fight goes on a little bit, and he's got very good takedown defense. But he's a solid fighter. Vera, he's making his UFC debut. I believe he was on Tough this year, if I remember correctly, or I didn't watch it, so I think it was on this year. But, he's got solid striking himself. He can mix in some wrestling and grappling, but, he doesn't really do anything amazing. He's just a well-rounded guy that can do a little bit of here and there, but I think Marcos is the better guy here, even on short notice. Both these guys are taking this fight on short notice. So the younger fighter is in Marcos here. I just think he's the better fighter overall. I think he should be able to get a late finish decision win here just by outvaluing Vera on the feet. I don't think Vera can take this fight to the mat, which he's probably going to need to win this fight. So I think Marcos is the better striker by far. So give me Marcos to win. I'll say by decision. Next one's going to be Rayanne Dos Santos versus Talita Alencar. I'll just say that. This is going to be a decent fight. Low level, if you want to say. Dos Santos is making her UFC debut. She's got solid grappling with good submissions. Her striking is just okay. She can be a little bit hittable on the feet. She likes to push forward and go for takedowns. Position over submission is her game when she does get this fight to the mat. And Talita, we saw her in the Dana White Contender Series where it ended up being a draw. Um, yeah, ended up being drawn by his decision unanimous. But she's a solid grappler as well, decent takedowns. Her striking is not good though. I would say Dos Santos' striking is better, but not that's not saying much. She does like to push a high pace early. She can be a little hittable on the feet as well, but she's very small, but she's strong. And I think she uses her strength a lot more to try to get those takedowns because I mean, she's 5'1" with a 58.5-inch reach. So she's very small. So um, again, low level fight. But I'm gonna go with Dos Santos to win. I like her striking more so. So if this fight is on the feet, I do favor Dos Santos, and I think Dos Santos will be safe on the feet or on the mat if this fight goes to the mat. And she's gonna be a little bit bigger, and she's got a little bit more experience. 14-6. I know Toledo has been in a lot of grappling matches, but not MMA matches. So I think the experience will be on Dos Santos' side, and I do think she'll be able to win a decision win here, or maybe a late submission. But give me Dos Santos to win. I think she gets this one done. Um, I'll I'll look at this line and see where it goes. I don't mind it right now, but it's so low level that you're like something's like telling me like is this a trap or whatever. But give me Dos Santos to win by decision. Next one is going to be Stephanie Egger versus Luana Santos. So Egger, let me get there real quick. Egger's very good grappler. She's got good submissions off her back or on when she's on top. Her striking not the greatest, but it's not terrible. She's very good in the clinch. She likes to push up. her opponents against the cage. She's very strong and she likes to use trips to get the takedown instead of like wrestling single leg, double leg takedowns. But low volume on the feet too. But she's durable. She's made some mistake. She made a mistake in her last fight against Arena, which doesn't really age well right now. But she beat Perez, so that's a good win right now. And she also, she lost to Bueno Silva by submission too, but so she can be submitted on the mat, but she's a very good grappler. Santos is well rounded. I'd say she may be a little bit better than Edgar on the mat. I like her striking more so on the feet. She throws way more volume. She can be hittable though. But she throws some pop as you saw in her last fight. I know it's against Juliana Miller, but she did knock her out. And because we've seen Juliana Miller, she's pretty durable, but man, she gassed out in that first round though. But either way, I'm going to go with Santos in this fight. I do think her takedown defense is good enough to um, survive any of Ager's trips or wrestling takedowns or anything like that. And like I said, on the feet, I do favor Santos. I think she'll land more volume. She'll land the better shots. Ager is just a little bit too low volume, and she needs to get this fight to the mat. Where I think Santos is good, better, if not just as good as Ager. And I think Santos can get a submission because we've seen Ager get submitted. She's been submitted how many times in her career too, and it was just recently. So she's getting up there in age. She's 35, 10-year difference right there. And usually with the statistics is over 10 years, usually the younger person wins. So give me Santos to win. I'm gonna say late finish, like a submission too, maybe second or third round. But um, I wouldn't mind Santos as a money line parlay piece, maybe. See what happens. Next one's gonna be Song versus Jousset. Get that down here. This is gonna be an interesting fight. I kept flipping back and forth with this one. I'll be honest with you. But let me hold on. There we go. Song is a powerful striker. We've seen it in his last couple fights. He rocked Ian Gary. He also rocked Bedoya a couple times too. And yeah, I mean, he can be hittable on the feet. He's a little low volume, but he's got that one touch knockout power. He doesn't really have a wrestling game. His takedown defense isn't all that great either, but that's the thing. He's that one touch knockout power with good boxing. Josette, I would say he's pretty well rounded. He's got solid wrestling, solid striking. He does have the reach advantage here. He's a little bit taller. He can be hittable on the feet. He throws good volume. He's got good cardio too. Oh, and that's another thing too. Song does slow down as the fight goes on as well. Um, so man, I can see both guys winning. I really can in their own way. But I think Song's only win condition is knockout and maybe in the first round or two. But I can see Josette winning a late finish. I can see him winning a decision, racking up the wrestling and control time in the minutes like that. Like I said, I kept flip-flopping. I'm going with Jousset. My initial read was Song, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna go with Jousset. I just think he has more paths to victory. I think he can win by a decision. I think he can win by a late finish too. I would say the early finishing equity is in Song with the knockout. So if you like Song, maybe play him by knockout. I don't see him winning a decision, unfortunately. So give me Jousset to win. I just think he gets that wrestling going and wins a decision here. Next one's gonna be Tatsuro Taira versus Carlos Hernandez. I do think this is gonna be a fun fight. I'm high on Taira, I will say, but Taira is a very good grappler. He's got amazing submissions. Striking is coming along. It's improving in every fight. He's very patient on the feet. He's got good counters, good kicks. He can be clipped though if he goes in and get countered, which is a little scary. We see him get rocked a couple times, and he had to go to this grappling and wrestling really quick. But he's durable. He's got good cardio. Um, and his wrestling's not bad. I know a lot of people might say that his takedowns aren't that good, but they're not that bad either. He's still 23 years old, so give him some credit there. Hernandez, well-rounded guy. He's got good striking, good grappling. He's tough. He's durable. Good cardio. He just doesn't really do anything amazing, but this is going to be a close fight. I'll say that, and I think this fight goes to decision. I think, or the over. I'm going to look at that when those props come out, but I'm going to go with Taira here. I think he gets the grappling going. I think he can control him, take his back. But on the feet, I think it'll be a closer fight than a lot of people think. But Tatsuro is going to need to get that grappling going, get the wrestling, which I think he can do. But it's going to be a close fight, and I don't like that minus 440 money line for him this time. I will say I don't like it. I'm a little scared for him, but I'm gonna say he wins this one by decision. Hernandez is very tough. I know he got submitted by Nascimento, but Nascimento's world class grappler. You get to say that Tyra is bad, but Nascimento's world class. So give me Taira to win, and I'm gonna say by decision. Very this will be a fun fight to watch and see where he's at. Next one is gonna be Park versus Shannon Ross. Interesting fight here. Park's a solid grappler. He's got good takedowns. Not the greatest striking though, but he does have some pop in his hands, on his feet. He can be a little bit of a slow starter, but he does pick it up as the fight goes on. Ross is well rounded. He's got solid wrestling. His striking is pretty good. The only thing with him, and we've seen it in a lot of his fights, is his chin is a little dusty. He got knocked out by Jesus Aguilar. He's got knocked out by Clayton Rodriguez. Got knocked out by Vinicius Salvador. So he's coming in on 3 knockout losing streak. Never, ever, ever a good look at all, and I don't care who you're fighting. It only takes 1 punch, especially 3 knockouts in a year and a quarter, 15 months. That's insane, guys. So I gotta go Park. I don't even care. Like, Shannon Ross, I mean, he has a chance to win, of course, he's pretty solid, but it only takes 1 punch to rattle him a bit, and I think that's what's gonna happen, unfortunately. So give me Park to win. I'm gonna say he gets a 2nd or 3rd round knockout. He gets the wrestling going early, and, he gets a finish here. I'm not gonna touch it, the money line. I don't believe it's -220 unless it literally just changed, 'cause I saw -400. That's interesting if it's -200 now. But if it's -400, staying away from the money line, I would look at the inside the distance props for that, Park instead. So give me Park to win. I'm gonna say 2nd or 3rd round knockout. Next one is gonna be Nasrat Haqparast versus Jamie Mullarkey. I said that because they kind of look alike and they're kind of brothers, looks like. But anyways, solid striking from Nasrat. Tons of volume, good takedown defense. He's very tough. He's very durable. He always pushes forward. He can be hittable, but he still continues to push forward. And that's about all he does. He doesn't really wrestle that much. He just wants to box up there and just throw more volume. Malarkey's well rounded. He's got pretty good striking, decent wrestling and grappling. More, he's known to be a grappler, but he's been falling in love with his striking as of late. He's been getting clipped a lot, getting, all that good stuff. He got knocked out against Naimov. He did beat John McDessie, but guess what? He got rocked, and that fight was kind of close. I'm not gonna lie, guys. So I like Naz right here. I think he gets this one done. I think he keeps it on the feet. It's gonna be a striking fight. And again, I think Jamie tends to his striking defense isn't the greatest, so he tends to get a little bit lackadaisical sometimes with his head movement. And Nasrat could get a finish here too later on in this fight. So give me Nasrat to win. I'm gonna say by decision. There is a world where Malarkey does win. He just needs to mix in the wrestling and grappling. I just don't think he's gonna be able to win a striking match with Nasrat. So again, Nasrat by decision. Should be a good fight though. Next one is gonna be Andre Muniz versus Park. And we all know who Muniz is. He is a very good grappler. He's got very good submissions. His striking is meh. His cardio is meh. His takedown defense isn't good, but that's probably because he doesn't mind grappling off his back. He's got good submissions off his back. And we've seen it in a couple of his fights as of late. He kind of quits a little in a way where if things aren't going his way, he's not looking good on the feet, he can't get the grappling going. He kind of doesn't know what to do after that. So that's something to think about. I was pretty high on Munoz when he was on his little winning streak here. But lately, I know he's fought Brendan Allen, which is a very tough fight, but Paul Craig, that's all I'm gonna say. Park, though, well-rounded guy, underrated striking, good boxing, good jab, solid power. He's got good wrestling and good takedowns. I think too. Durable, good cardio. The only thing with him, he could be a little bit hittable on the feet at times. Munoz is gonna have the reach advantage. He's gonna be a little bit bigger. So his takedown defense, though, Park is also pretty decent, and Munoz's takedowns aren't the greatest. So to me, I like Park here a lot. And I might be weird when I say this, but I'm pretty confident that Park wins this fight, especially if he keeps his fight on the feet. He's going to win all day. But if he wants to mix in the takedowns, he can get the takedowns, but he's playing with fire. So I think Park should keep this on the feet, box him up. I think he wins a 3rd round um, or decision win. I can see him getting a late finish because Munoz, like I said, slows down as a fight. His cardio kind of fades, and he might give up a little bit. So we've seen it. Park do that against Albert Duraev. We've seen him do that against Dennis Tululian, Joseph Holmes. I mean, these guys aren't the greatest here, but I mean, the Albert Duraev is a pretty good win for me, I think, for Park. So I think he can get this one done just like he did against Munoz, just like he did against Duraev. So give me Park to win. I'll say third round or decision. Next one's gonna be Sumudaerji versus Nascimento. So Sumudaerji, very good striker, got good power in his hands. He doesn't really wrestle or grapple. His takedown defense is it's pretty good. Good volume on the feet. We've seen his the war crazy fight against Matt Schnell where we thought he was gonna win, then he got rocked, then Matt got rocked, and then he fell into Chanel or Schnell. Sorry, I can't Chanel. Schnell's got a arm triangle there, or just triangle choke, but he's solid. Nascimento, like I said before in this video breakdowns, world class grappler, solid takedowns, good cardio. His striking isn't amazing, but it's not terrible either. He can hold his own on the feet, but he definitely wants to get this fight to the mat and work his grappling. So I know I've been saying this and I've been preaching it from the rooftops. Striker versus grappler matchup. Who do you take? I always go with the striker, but this is the one time I'm taking Nascimento. Why you say? Because Sumidarji's defensive grappling and takedown defense is not good at all. I do think Nascimento is world class grappler. If he gets his fight to the mat, I think he can get a submission in round one, round two, round three. It only takes one time. I think he's going to get that one time, and I think he's going to get the submission. So give me Nascimento to get the submission. I'll say early second round. But is there a world where Sumidarji can knock out Nascimento? Sure. I mean, I think he's been knocked out once. No, he hasn't been knocked out. He's never been finished. I love Nascimento even more. I thought it was at least once or twice. So Nascimento submission round two. Co-main event. This is a short notice fight for Anthony Smith, and it's going to be versus Khalil Roundtree, who was supposed to fight Azamat. That's who it was. So, but Smith is taking this fight on short notice. He's well-rounded, very good grappling. He's got good striking, good calf kicks. He's durable. He's tough. He's a legend. Takedown defense isn't the greatest, but luckily for him, he doesn't have to worry about that because Khalil's not going to try to take him down. Roundtree, powerful striker. He's got powerful kicks, as we've seen. He's durable. His volume starts to slow down a bit the longer the fight goes. His takedown defense isn't amazing, but it's not awful. And he has no ground game whatsoever, whether if he gets taken down. Like he doesn't really know what to do. And that's what I kind of worry about here for him. And I'm gonna take the dog and Anthony Smith. I think Anthony Smith is well-rounded enough to keep safe on the feet. He's gonna keep his range, work the leg kicks early, and take away some of Khalil's power there. And then I think as the fight goes on, I think he's gonna go for some takedowns, and I think he's gonna be able to get them. And I think Khalil's gonna be in a world of trouble, especially if Anthony Smith can take his back. So I'm gonna go with the underdog pick here in Anthony Smith. I think he gets a second or third round submission. I mean, maybe it'll be a close decision. If this fight does go to decision, it might be close. But I like Anthony Smith. I like it. I know he's on short notice. He's 35 years old, been a ton of wars, but he's got the experience. So much experience edge right here. Khalil Rountree's knocking out guys that he should. Let's be honest. Chris Dawkins, not the greatest. Dustin Jacoby, he didn't win that fight, but good performance. Carl Roberson, not that good. Modesta Bukauskas, not that good. And it was that little knee thing that he kind of broke Modesta's knee or something like that. So I think Anthony Smith gets this one done. Like I said, it could work out to be a close decision, but I think Smith gets a submission in the second or third round. Main event now, Yadong Song versus Chris Gutierrez. Song is actually he's a well-rounded fighter, but he's more so a striker. He's very powerful with his hands, good boxing. His takedown defense is pretty good. You won't have to worry too much about that, though. He's durable, very good cardio, tough, always pushes forward. Gutierrez, solid striker, amazing leg kicks, as we all know. Very good cardio as well. He can be hittable on the feet, though, especially when he throws some of those naked leg kicks. Sometimes he can get rocked. And that's what I'm kind of worried about for him here. I think Song can mix in some wrestling and takedowns if he wants to, but I'm going with Song here. I mean, the only little worry for me with that is If Chris Gutierrez gets the leg kicks going, he lands like 3 or 4 really good ones early, it might be a long night for Song, but I think Song knows that. I think he's gonna try to get this one in boxing range at the very least, and who's the better boxer? Song, all day. It's not even close. Gutierrez is the better kickboxer, but Song is the way better boxer with his hands, and I think he can mix in some grappling and some wrestling too. We've seen him do that in some of the fights, but yes, I like Song here. I think he gets this one done by knockout. Second or third round, I'm gonna say. Wouldn't be shocked if it's a first round either. So, like Song a lot here. I think he gets this one done, and should be a good fight though. But all right, guys, that was it. That was quick. Woo! 12 fights. This is gonna be an interesting card. Not the greatest since last week. Last card was pretty good. This one's not gonna be as good, I'll tell you that. A little tricky, betting perspective, but, thank you everybody for watching. Please hit that like button, like I said. Please subscribe if you're new, if you enjoyed my video. Also, leave some comments below. Like I said, it's my birthday tomorrow, so leave me some, happy birthday comments. That helps my, videos out a ton. And yeah, live show with Cody from Blood Money MMA Bets will be on Thursday, and we'll also do a pre-fight live show 2 hours before the fights, like we always do too. So hope to see you guys there. Thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, happy fight